A 32-year-old marketing executive named Mark just received a 20% promotion raise that should have finally given him financial security. 6 months later, he logged into his checking account only to realize that he had less money in savings than before he got his big raise. If you have ever earned more money only to feel just as broke as before, then I need you to listen, because this exact thing is happening to you right now. There is a silent psychological mechanism hardwired into human decision-making that quietly eats every single dollar you will ever earn if you do not spot it early. Economists and behavioral scientists have studied this phenomenon for decades, and what they discovered explains why smart, high-earning professionals end up living paycheck to paycheck. I break down one deep psychological concept per video in plain English, so if you want to understand why you do what you do with money, subscribe and ring the bell. The story of this financial trap begins in 1955 with a British historian and naval officer named Cyril Northcote Parkinson. Parkinson noticed that no matter how small a task was assigned to government workers, they always managed to stretch the work to fill every single minute available. He published his famous observation, stating that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion, and it became an instant global principle. But financial psychologists later realized that Parkinson had accidentally uncovered something far more dangerous about how humans handle their personal finances. When applied to your bank account, Parkinson's law states that expenses always rise to meet income, regardless of how much money you make. If you double your earnings this year, your brain will automatically construct new urgent needs that match your exact new income level down to the exact dollar. Before I show you the devious retail trick that accelerates this process, let us understand why your brain treats extra money like an emergency command to spend. Think about the last time you bought something you did not really need, and I want you to picture that exact transaction in your mind right now. Psychologists refer to this behavior as lifestyle creep, or hedonic adaptation, which is our innate drive to treat yesterday's luxury as today's absolute baseline requirement. When Mark got his raise, he did not buy a sports car or fly to Europe on a private jet, because those decisions feel like massive conscious splurges. Instead, he upgraded his apartment coffee maker, switched to premium grocery items, and signed up for 3 higher-tier digital subscriptions. None of those individual decisions felt like a mistake because each cost increase was so small that his logical conscious mind barely registered the difference. But combined, those tiny micro-choices erased every single cent of his extra $500 a month before he even had a chance to save it. In behavioral economics, this is connected to what researchers call the Diderot Effect, named after the French philosopher Denis Diderot in the 18th century. Diderot was gifted a beautiful scarlet dressing gown, but soon realized his old desk furniture and carpet looked terribly cheap compared to his shiny new robe. To match his new robe, he replaced his chair, his desk, his artwork, and eventually sank deep into financial distress, just trying to maintain internal aesthetic harmony. Modern consumer brands understand this psychological flaw intimately and spend billions designing product ecosystems specifically structured to trigger your Diderot bias. When you buy a slightly nicer smartphone, you instantly feel compelled to purchase higher quality cases, premium wireless earbuds, and upgraded cloud storage plans. Your brain convinces you that these additional expenses are completely logical maintenance costs, rather than voluntary lifestyle choices that actively drain your wealth. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you in the next 2 minutes is the part of financial psychology that changes everything you think you know. Most people believe that earning more money creates a comfortable safety margin, but statistical data on income and savings shows the exact opposite reality. Studies show that over 60% of full-time workers earning 6 figures live paycheck to paycheck because their spending scaled up proportionally with earnings. They do not feel wealthy because their fixed overhead costs expand to match their new status level, leaving them with the same structural fragility as before. The psychological pain of losing your current lifestyle is vastly stronger than the psychological pleasure of building long-term compounding assets. You are running on an ever-accelerating financial treadmill, where the speed increases every time your salary goes up, keeping you in the exact same spot. Your mind adapts to higher levels of consumption faster than your income can ever grow, creating a permanent sensation of scarcity regardless of your bank balance. Every time your monthly income grows, your expectations shift quietly in the background, making luxury feel like an absolute necessity for survival. This is why high-earning executives often feel just as trapped in their jobs as entry-level employees working for minimum wage. They have constructed a golden cage of fixed monthly commitments that require their entire salary just to keep the doors unlocked. The primary reason this trap works so well is that society rewards visible consumption while ignoring invisible financial security. When you upgrade your car or move into a bigger home, everyone around you validates the decision with compliments and social approval. But nobody applauds you for having $50,000 sitting quietly in an index fund working for your future self. This constant drive for external validation accelerates Parkinson's law by tying your identity to your current level of spending. You begin to feel that reducing your lifestyle after a bad month is a shameful admission of failure rather than a smart adjustment. Mark realized this when he tried to downgrade his apartment gym membership back to a basic local gym option near his old neighborhood. The thought of walking back into his old gym felt like a step backward in life, even though the equipment was identical. His brain interpreted the cost reduction as a loss of social standing rather than a victory for his long-term savings account. This cognitive trap keeps millions of professionals locked in careers they dislike because they cannot afford the lifestyle drop required to leave. So now you see the dark truth behind why working harder and getting raises rarely makes you feel rich or financially secure over time. But here is the thing that researchers found that actually allows you to break Parkinson's law without feeling restricted or miserable. The secret is to artificially invert Parkinson's law by introducing intentional structural constraints on your money before your brain gets a chance to see it. Just as work contracts when you shorten a project deadline, your expenses automatically compress when you artificially restrict available cash in your primary account. Behavioral economists call this mechanism pre-commitment conditioning, or automated pay-yourself-first architecture, designed to bypass human temptation. The moment you receive a pay raise or bonus, you must route 50% of that new money into investments before it touches your spending account. By locking away the new income instantly, your brain adapts its daily baseline spending to the remaining balance without feeling deprived or financially squeezed. You still enjoy half of your success in real time while guaranteeing that your wealth grows faster than your lifestyle ever can. If you automate this transfer to happen on the day your paycheck arrives, you eliminate the need for daily willpower or discipline. Your spending naturally expands only to fill the remaining money left in your account, leaving your savings completely untouched every single month. So let us pull this entire concept together so you can permanently protect your income from Parkinson's law starting today. First, remember that Parkinson's law of money guarantees your expenses will rise to match your earnings, unless you actively intervene with rules. Second, recognize that lifestyle creep operates through microscopic daily upgrades rather than massive, dramatic financial mistakes that catch your attention. Third, automate your savings so that every future raise is split with your future self before your brain rewires your daily survival baseline. When you take control of this single psychological mechanism, you regain permanent control over your financial freedom and your future peace of mind. Share this video with one person you know who deserves to understand this, because one simple conversation about this principle could change their financial life forever.